Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 9 p.m. and you're with me, Navika Kumar, on the Newshour this evening. And I must tell you that the system and its callousness is on display. I'll show you this picture, this collage that's been put out by the Mumbai police. Can there be anything that's more callous than this collage that has been put out? In fact, let me just show you. These are the officially 22 people who have been declared dead under the circumstances of the Stampede in Mumbai. And look at the callousness of the police. Just how have they branded each of these people who are somebody's husband, somebody's wife, their foreheads with the numbers 12, 17, 22. That's all these numbers mean to these people in Mumbai police. These numbers that reduce the life of one individual to just one number. Is that all there is to it? And look at the people of Mumbai. The people of Mumbai who had sent out all of these tweets attracting the attention of the railway minister, talking about a stampede situation likely to happen in Parel. This tweet on 10th of November 2016. Another tweet that went out to Suresh Prabhu about a stampede in Parel on the 14th of December in 2016, October 2016. All of these tweets, the concerns of citizens who use these trains, whose life depends on these trains, all of them attracting the attention of officials and ministers of railway, trying to draw their attention to the apathy, to the situation of a stampede waiting to happen. And did anybody talk about it? No, ladies and gentlemen, nobody paid heed, because despite the positive consideration that was being given to the widening of the bridge, it was only a matter of file pushing over the last 20 months for which this decision has been pending. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do netas have to offer us on a day 27 people lose their lives in Mumbai? They tell us 5 lakhs of compensation for every man or woman who has lost his life. And of course, free ilaj in the Sarkari Hospital. That's all these netas have to offer. 5 lakhs for 27 lives, that's 1.35 crores that are paid by the railways as a penalty for washing off the guilt from their conscience and move on till the next tragedy. Is that the human life's value in today's India? That's the question we are asking tonight. And let me go across to my colleague Kajal Iyer, who's been following the families, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of families. This is not just 27 people. This is 27 families destroyed. Somebody's son who left the home in the morning for his daily bread-earning activities and never returned. Somebody's father, somebody's husband, somebody's wife. That's all that's left of these 27 families. 5 lakhs of compensation. Kajal, you met these families at the KEM hospital this morning. I know you broke down when one of those families who was looking for their loved one found out that the person has lost his life in the grind of earning his daily bread. Is that the story that Mumbai will only live to tell after Ghatkopar building collapse, manholes being left open in the Mumbai rains, and now a stampede in Mumbai?
Yes, in fact, it was very tragic. Every 5-10 minutes, we were seeing someone or the other break down. And this particular family, it was really tragic because they came from far away Mumbai. It had taken them the whole day to travel and come to KEM. And when we saw them come out of the mortuary, initially we saw the 15 or so year old boy trying to be brave for his mother. But then his mother let out a loud wail saying, "Wo chhod ke chale gaye hame." And then there was no stopping the tears. For at least 45 minutes, we saw them cry continuously. And And I just have to point out that there was not a single dry eye anywhere around them. Our crew, entire crew, we were all crying at that point of time, because to us it just showed the entire human cost of this tragedy, how inefficiency of the authorities costs us in human lives, and that cannot be compensated in any way by the money that they are now trying to throw at the patients. Even that we are hearing from the families is not being done in a proper way. One of the families just spoke to us some time ago saying that all of the relatives are supposed to get 15,000 on the spot so that they can take care of the immediate medical expenses. But despite the Mumbai police trying to cooperate with the victims, that 15,000 is not being given out properly by the other authorities, and that is why they are also even that for that immediate cost also, it seems that they have to actually go from pillar to post to try and get the money that the government says that they are actually going to be entitled to because of the tragedy which has been caused by the government in the first place.
Well, sorry state of affairs, Kajal, very sorry state of affairs, and that's why I say just because we are an overpopulated country of 131 crore, is the value of human life just so little that not one Neta has any concern for it? Thank you very much, Kajal, for joining me. Let me open up this debate on the Mumbai Stampede. And joining me this evening, Sanju Verma, spokesperson of the Maharashtra BJP, Manisha Kayande, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, Sandeep Deshpande, spokesperson of the MNS, Clyde Castro, spokesperson of the Nationalist Congress Party, Tanishta Chatterjee, actor, Abha Singh, lawyer, will be with us in just a bit. But my first question goes out to actor, author, columnist Suhail Seth. Suhail Seth, do you think after all the tweets from the common man, from the people who use these trains, who had been writing to the officials of the Indian Railways, who had been marking their tweets to Suresh Prabhu, the then Railways Minister, everything met with, we are considering your request positively, but wait. And what happens in the last 20 months when this entire request is being looked at positively? All that happens is pushing of files. And now the Railways Minister says that the tender was going to be cleared only on the 22nd of September. Suhail Seth, is it that we've lost the value of these lives?
So I want to adopt a different stance, because Navika, you and I both know that we often do blame the politicians, we blame the leaders, as we must at times. But there is a systemic error in the way our democracy functions. Whenever a tragedy of this nature happens, we immediately, want the Prime Minister's attention, the Railway Minister's attention, without at times verifying what exactly is happening and what's going wrong with our country. The solutions is what I want to offer today. The problems are we do not have a safety mechanism in place. Our people like you and me, we don't follow safety norms. A stampede is caused by some person who either is alarmist for the right reasons, or who creates a situation of panic, perfectly justified at times. But then what you see is resultant action of this kind. Now, if you blame the BJP or the Shiv Sena or the Congress, each one will blame the other. I personally hate all political parties, but I have a lot of faith in Piyush Goyal for two reasons. Number one, he has performed and delivered when he was in the power ministry. Two, I believe, from what I've heard, including the reports on your channel, on your Twitter timelines, is that this does not belong to the railways. This is a connecting over footbridge to the railway station. So technically, I don't know who it belongs to, but the fact is 22 families today are grieving in a country which has scant regard. So what are the solutions?
Suhail Seth,
we need to widen these footbridges. And unless and until responsible organizations like yours...
But I want you to hear the sound of death. Suhail Seth, look at that bridge. Look at your screens, gentlemen and ladies, and look at the way people were pounding the walls of the bridge wanting to get out because they had been caught in a stampede. Hear the sound of death. Did you hear that? Tanishta Chatterjee, did you hear that? People banging on those sheets of tin that were on the sides of these because they were wanting to just jump out from there and there was nowhere to go. And this because the width of that bridge was just 77 inches. 77 inches in a central Mumbai railway platform where trains come
on your
and
channel,
people in hundreds and thousands come out of that railway station. Tanishta Chatterjee?
I think like throughout today there have been enough discussion about how the broadness of this footbridge is not right, and like many other footbridges in Mumbai stations, how the staircases are not rightly constructed, how the number of footbridges are not up to the mark, and these complaints have been like registered time and again through years, and no action has been taken against it and for it, and this is called negligence. But now moving forward, today in this program, I want to know that this incident has happened, and now how do we move forward from here? Do we actually like get to know that, okay, in the next 6 months, action would be taken for a constructive move, for a constructive change? Would footbridges be built? Would there be more space for people to actually walk? There were many suggestions on Twitter today, like for example, hawkers should not be allowed on footbridges, there should be queues, there should be regulations, and also like programs and awareness in people how not to fall into a stampede and how to avoid stampede in crowded places, like you do have in places like the Kumbh Mela. When you visit a Kumbh Mela, before you visit, you're being told time and again how to avoid a stampede. Now these are like regular things. Now I really want to know, would the administration, whoever is responsible for it, whether it's railways, whether it's BMC, whether it's police or any other body, whoever, are you going to take responsibility?
So
and
Sanju
are
Verma,
things going to change in the next 6 months?
How are we going to account ourselves for the 27 lives that have been lost?
Opposition also going to just,
you know, Navika, I don't want
Sanju Verma, 27 lives have been lost. Is 5 lakhs in compensation, 1.35 crores all that we need to account for? Or is there an accountability for the families, the 27 families that have been destroyed today?
Navika, I heard you out very patiently, and I hope you will extend me the courtesy of not interrupting me. I think, you know, I would tend to concur partially with both the other panelists, particularly Suhail Seth. You know, I'm not trying to shove responsibility away, but I ask one question. Of course, the buck stops with the railways when it comes to rail infrastructure, but this is about a foot-over bridge, and I want your audience to know. RS 489/04/15. This was the letter written by the local MP Rahul Shewale of the Shiv Sena to Suresh Prabhu in 2015. In an out-of-turn approval, the letter says out of turn at the start. Suresh Prabhu sanctioned 12 crores only specifically for this particular foot-over bridge at Elphinston. I want to ask of the Shiv Sena, it's very easy to take pot shots at your partner, at your senior coalition partner. What was Rahul Shewale doing after the sanction happened in 2015 and budget reallocation was made thereafter in the next 4 months? Did you do anything? The standard operating procedure is, for a foot-over bridge, the local MP of the area follows up, ensures that the tendering in conjunction with PWD, BMC, etc. is consummated and taken to its logical conclusion. Why did
for
the Shiv
Manisha
Sena not
Kayande.
do the needful?
The blame comes down to the Shiv Sena.
Of
The
course,
Shiv Sena
of
cannot
course.
have a free
It
run.
does.
But Manisha
It does.
Kayande, the Shiv Sena really wanted the name change of Elphinston station. For you, the priority was calling it Prabha Devi. For you, the priority was not the foot over bridge, Manisha Kayande.
Okay, I have heard non-stop to both the ladies, to Navika and Sanju Verma. And I hope you have the audacity to listen to me also and the patience to what I'm answering. Now, both our MPs, Mr. Rahul Shewale and Mr. Arvind Sawant, have been writing letters after letter, taking delegations, not only these two MPs, the local Shiv Sainiks, the local BJP members, also.
You
Plus,
talk about
the
Rahul
Passenger
Shewale's
Association
letter.
also
We are not
have
interested in
been
any other
continuously
appeals that you
writing.
made.
Now,
What happened to the 12 crores that was sanctioned? You come straight to the point. I have a lot of audacity, but I want you to come clean today. Apart from taking pot shots at BJP, what is the productive work that you have done? What did you do with the 12 crores that
Navika, I'm
was
answering
sanctioned?
to you.
My pointed question is, what did Rahul Shewale of the Shiv Sena do with the 12 crores that was sanctioned out of turn by Suresh Prabhu? Please come clean on that rather than beating around the bush. We've heard you enough. We are done with the pot shots you've been taking at us. Please take some onus and responsibility, because today the onus
Navika, are you the anchor? Navika, are you the anchor or Sanju is the anchor?
Well, she's asking you a question. She's asking you a question, Manisha.
Navika, have you given your job
I am
to
the
Sanju
anchor,
Verma?
but she's asking you the
Navika,
question
have
and
you
she's
given
your
your job to
partner in
Sanju
government.
Verma?
You both
Navika,
are presently
Sanju,
in the government at the center. You are in government at the
Navika, are
state
you
level.
the anchor of the
Who
show?
should we ask
or
the questions
Sanju Verma
to?
is the anchor of the show? Look at this CAG report. Look at this CAG report, what it talks.
I will not allow
Sanju,
you
if
to
you can read
misinform
some
the
English.
audience. You have got away every time with the shoot and scoot policy.
Listen,
Shiv Sena does
look at this CAG report.
Shoot and scoot
This
business.
was of 2015.
I will not allow you to do a shoot and
How
scoot
many
today.
people?
I want to know
How
what
many
you did with
people
the 12
come to
crores
There
that
are
was
65
sanctioned by
lakhs.
Suresh Prabhu. Please give me
Navika,
a
are you
pointed
the anchor
answer.
or Sanju is
I'm
the anchor?
asking as an enlightened
Navika,
citizen. I'm asking as a senior coalition
Navika,
partner,
is Sanju
and I'm
the
asking as
anchor
a
or you are the
spokesperson
anchor?
for the
Manisha
BJP
Kayande.
Mumbai.
Manisha Kayande.
What is this?
Manisha Kayande. Sanju Verma, calm down.
If she's
Let
going
me
to
ask
allow me to
Manisha
talk.
Kayande a
If
question.
she's going to
Manisha
allow me to
Kayande,
talk.
I asked you the question. What are your priorities?
Navika,
your
are you the
priority
anchor? I think
is
you are doing a very
renaming
bad job.
Elphinston Station into Prabha Devi. Is that your priority, or is your priority building a foot over
If you
bridge?
allow me
Why
to
don't
talk,
you answer
if
the
you allow
question
me to
on
talk,
why
are
for
you
the Shiv
anchoring the
Sena
show?
renaming
You
the
want
station was
answers?
always more important?
Are you anchoring the show? Are you anchoring the show? Are you anchoring
But I'm asking you the question,
Are you
Manisha
anchoring the
Kayande?
show or Sanju Verma is anchoring the show? Please make it clear first. Please have the patience.
We are calling the BJP to answer. Manisha Kayande, but the Shiv Sena is equally part of the government.
Navika,
Don't come and wash your dirty linen here on Times Now, on the Newshour.
look at this CAG report if you can read it.
So why don't you walk out of government? Why don't you walk out of government in Maharashtra and the center? No, because you will stick to power.
Navika, you don't have the patience. Navika, you don't have the patience. You don't have the patience to listen. You don't have the patience to listen. You want me to answer? Keep quiet.
Manisha Kayande,
if you want me
give
to answer,
me an explanation
keep quiet.
that the people of this country will actually feel satisfied with. I'm not
allow me
to
talk.
listen to you.
If you allow me to talk.
I'm listening to you.
If you
I'm
allow
listening
me to
you.
talk.
Convince me.
If you
convince me
allow
and
me to
convince
talk.
the people of this
If
country.
you are not listening. You are intervening. As soon as I start talking, you are intervening. As soon as I start talking, you are intervening. As soon as I talk, you are intervening. You are not allowing me to talk. If you don't want me to talk, I will not answer. If you are going to talk in between, if you are going to intervene, I can't talk to you.
I am listening.
Does Sanju know? Yes, listen. Okay, don't intervene then. Don't intervene. Don't intervene till I finish. That is my condition. The MP, you know how much is the fund of the MP? The bridge which we are talking about, it is 11.59 crores. That is not the fund of an MP. Does Sanju know how much is the fund of the MP? Does Sanju know the statistics of it? She doesn't know. And then we are talking, what is the role of the MP? The role of the MP is to put forth the problem and pursue it, which he has been doing. He is ready to give the fund also. But the railways say that we have a mega plan for the Parel and Elphinston station. We are making a terminus. And that is where the work has stopped. This is what Sanju doesn't know. This is what Sanju doesn't know. Please tell her. And Navika, I hope you're anchoring the show. And not Sanju is not the anchor of the show.
Okay, you've made your point, Manisha Kayande. You've made your point. You've made your point, Manisha Kayande. Now, may I ask you, if you have so many problems with the BJP, why are you in power with them at the center, where the railway ministry takes all the decision, or in the state of Maharashtra, where the implementation should have happened?
Is that going to solve the problem? If the Shiv Sena leaves the government, is it going to solve the problem?
Okay, so you don't have an answer. You don't have an answer. You don't have an answer. Clyde Crasto.
Is that the answer?
Okay, Clyde Crasto. The Shiv Sena and the BJP will fight on national television tonight when 27 people have lost their lives. The Shiv Sena and the BJP will be involved in an ugly fight on national television. But Clyde Crasto, they will stay together because power matters. Isn't that the story of the NCP and the Congress alliance in the past as well?
Navika, if there's a little bit of silence and you allow me to speak, I just want to tell you, Navika, can I speak?
Yes, go on, Clyde Crasto.
Yeah, I know, because there's so many sounds and people are talking. I just want to tell you one thing very clearly right in the beginning. It's out of complete respect for all those who have lost their lives today and their families. I don't want to, say anything about blaming anybody or talking about who's wrong and who's right. I just want to tell you that it's very shameful. I mean, all of us. I mean, I'm a spokesperson of a political party, and I feel ashamed sitting here to hear two people from different political parties going for each other when there are 27 families who are crying, tonight. So. I accept the fact that we have failed. I accept the fact that we have not done what we should have done. And the point is now the time has come for all of us to get together across all party lines, across all sectors of life, you, me, anybody, to come together and try and solve problems where a common man does not have to face this day again. So let's not.
When did you last travel by train, sir?
It's very shameful to see what has happened.
When did you last, Mr. Sandeep Deshpande, spokesperson of the MNS, Mr. Sandeep Deshpande, when did the Netas last time take a train? Do they even know the realities of what every Aam Aadmi goes through in Mumbai on a daily basis? Do you have any idea what it is? And look at those visuals on your screen. Look at the foot-over bridge. We've shown you one part of the picture which shows you the foot-over bridge, one part of the picture where there is water logging just outside, where the foot-over bridge ends. Look at the visuals of people actually banging on those sheets, and look at the way the people are crowding the station. Is there anybody present there to regulate the crowds? When did our Netas ever take the train to understand what it is to be traveling by a local train in Mumbai? Mr. Deshpande.
Let me tell you one thing very clear. In the year 2013, when our MLA Bala Nandgaonkar, he himself, we have given a letter to the railway GM, General Manager. We made him to visit those bridges, not only the Elphinston bridge, but also Curry Road. And we are given a list of 22 bridges where this sort of incident can happen. So it is very clear that it has been already informed to the railway.
So you've done your job.
Just let me clear. If you give me the time, I have been listening to everybody. Now it's time for me to speak. Please allow me some time to speak. So after giving list, as said by Sanju Verma, the money was sanctioned. 12 crore rupees of money was sanctioned, but the general manager did not float a tender for it. Why it was not floated? That is a question which has to be answered by the administration of railway. Number one. Number two, the thing is that what we are saying all the way is Mumbai need an infrastructure for the local train and not the money for the bullet train.
Oh.
That is the important thing. We have been saying that Mumbai local.
I need to come in here, Navika. We have been discussing this.
See, I can shout louder than you. I can shout louder than you. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you. We don't need a bullet train. We need an infrastructure for the Mumbai. Mumbai local has given several money to the central government. It is central government's duty, and they have to provide a good infrastructure for the Mumbai locals, which BJP has failed. The railway administration has failed. You should accept this fact.
Oh, please.
You should accept this fact.
Now I need to come in. I heard you, Mr. Deshpande. Navika, can I come in now, please? Because, you know, Mr. Deshpande has raised an interesting point. I want to make one point, Navika, because he's taken a direct pot shot at the bullet train. Please let me tell for the nth time ad nauseum for anyone who cares to hear. Out of the 88,000 crore, which is the total cost of the bullet train.
No, you should ask Japanese government to provide. You should ask Japanese government to provide the infrastructure for the local railways.
1 minute.
Mumbai is the city which is providing more than the railways to the money to the railways.
Mr. Deshpande,
what the infrastructure railways providing to Mumbai? You should answer this question first.
I'm answering.
What infrastructure you are providing to the Mumbai local people?
Calm down.
You are not providing any infrastructure.
Calm down.
And you are giving us bullet train, which is not a requirement for Mumbai.
Calm down.
Which is not a requirement for Mumbai.
Calm down, Mr. Deshpande, calm down.
No, you calm down.
Okay,
you calm down.
Sandeep
You are interrupting in the several people's
Mr. Sandeep Deshpande and Sanju Verma. Mr. Sandeep Deshpande and Sanju Verma.
We heard you. Okay.
Mr. Sandeep Deshpande and Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma and Mr. Sandeep Deshpande. Look at what you are demonstrating to this country. Look at what you are demonstrating to this country. You are showing this country that 27 families today have lost their loved ones. 27 families have been destroyed. And look at our politicians. Look at our netas. Look at the way they are bickering. Look at the way they are bickering. Are you here? Are you netas to govern this country, to actually provide some amenities to administer, or are you here to fight amongst yourselves? Just look at them. Nothing can make them quiet. Look at the pictures of those families. Look.
Bullet train which costs 88,000.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm cutting full frame to our netas tonight. Just see them. This is what our neta class will give this country in the name of governance. Listen to them. Full frame.
This is only 30,000 crores. What about the infrastructure for local railways? People are dying. People have died. 22 people have lost their life. You should provide an infrastructure for the Mumbai local first. And then think about the bullet train.
The total tenure of the loan is 50 years at 0.1%. 0.1%.
So bring that money to improve the infrastructure of the local railway. Why you are not
0.1%?
Why you are not borrowing money from Japanese government to provide infrastructure for the local trains instead of bullet train?
I will answer
that question first.
Okay, now you've raised a question. Can I answer? When we agreed with the Japanese government for the bullet train, this is part of a bilateral agreement wherein they will not only give us this 88,000 crores at 0.1%, they will provide skills, technology, The entire assembling, manufacturing will be done out of here. This is going to be a repeat
All right,
of the
Sanju Verma.
Maruti Suzuki success.
Sanju Verma.
Everybody knows what
This
Japanese
will be a
government
All
is
right,
Maruti.
all
Don't
right,
take-
Sanju
don't
Verma.
take pride in
All
it.
right,
Everybody knows
nobody
what
is
Japanese
questioning development in this country. Nobody is questioning the need for a bullet train. Yes, we are a country in 2017. We should showcase everything.
think she
But
has
I
nothing to
ask
say.
you,
Can I come
ladies
in?
and gentlemen, today you saw on display what our politicians actually want to give us. You saw it in full force happening. Before I go back to Suhail Seth, let me get in Abha Singh as well. Abha Singh, is this what you voted your Neta for? For this kind of bickering on a day 27 families have lost their near and dear ones and 27 families have been completely destroyed?
Not at all. In fact, both BJP, Shiv Sena and all these politicians should hang their heads in shame because 27 innocent lives have been lost and it is all criminal negligence. I am appalled that not a single BMC employee or a railway employee has been arrested under 304A of the IPC because you should know that these are B1 projects where 1.5 lakh square meters, if it is constructed, you need an environment impact assessment committee report. The EIA committee report, when it gives permission, it studies for 1 year the traffic movement, the pedestrian movement, and after that permissions are given. Huge money changes hands. There is gross corruption, and that is why so many skyscrapers have come up in Parel and Lower Parel area. You see millions of people coming there to work without the infrastructure, and it's only corruption where the money has gone to the politicians. How World 1 is coming up? It belongs to the BJP MP Lodha builders. Did they check whether they could absorb so many people on the trains? No, it's clear money for the builders. And let me tell you, Sanju Verma has no face to speak today.
Oh, please,
you are
Abha
responsible.
Singh, do
Suresh
not
Prabhu
speak
did
on my
nothing for rail
behalf.
security.
Abha Singh, stop being so presumptuous.
Every year,
Please
1,000
don't
people
speak
are
on the
dying
BJP's
in
behalf
rail
or on my
accidents.
behalf.
Let us
Speak
be
for
very
yourself.
clear. It is
Speak
not
for
an MP's
yourself.
job. It
Speak
is the railway
for
minister's
yourself.
job to ensure
Do not
safety and
speak for the
security for
BJP
Mumbai cars.
or for
Your
myself.
government has failed miserably.
I can look
you
after
have
myself.
no business
Thank
to
you so
speak
much.
today. Please apologize to the Mumbai cars
Please let
for the
me
lives
now
lost.
answer you with
Don't
facts
talk
and
of bullet
figures.
train first. Apologize for the
Navika,
lives
this
lost.
is a very serious
Corruption
issue
in your
I
railway
want to
ministry.
rebut with
Corruption
facts
in
and
your railway
figures.
ministry.
I'm so glad you find it a serious issue, Sanju Verma. Finally, after your fights with the Shiv Sena and the MNS, finally you find it a serious issue. I'm so grateful
No,
to God
absolutely
that
not.
actually,
You
Sanju
have-
Verma,
I
you
just
decide to
wanted
wake
you
up.
to
But
ask
wait for
tough
your turn.
questions of
Let me
Shiv
get in
Sena.
Suhail Seth.
Shiv Sena
Because
needs to be
Suhail
asked
Seth
tough questions.
says
That
he
was
wants
my
to
limited
look at
point.
this entire
That was
issue
my
that
limited
happened
point.
today
Shiv Sena
differently.
needed to come
Suhail
clean.
Seth,
Shiv Sena
do you
needed to
think,
come clean.
do you think what you've seen on display by our netas
Okay,
tonight
talk
on
in
this
this.
show itself, on the Newshour today itself, Suhail Seth, do you think there's going to be any difference? Do you think this is a class that's going to look at things differently, Suhail?
Well, I'm an optimist, so I hope they do. But this is what I started with, and Ms. Chatterjee, if I get her name right, also supplemented it in her opening remarks. Look, I don't want to get into this, shouting and abusing and accusing each other, because this doesn't solve problems. This continues to accentuate problems. So I just want to lay 4 solutions for you and through you for the relevant authorities. Number 1, we need multilingual public address system announcements every hour of the day, which actually advise people what to do, how to do it. It's followed across the world in metros and subway systems. There's no reason why we can't do it. Number 2, as Ms. Chatterjee rightly said, we need to fix accountability and demonstrable accountability. People who have sat on the tenders, people who have misjudged or misled people need to be sacked. They don't need to be suspended. Suspension is delayed procrastination. Number 3, we need to overhaul the foot over bridges, and for that a time frame hopefully the government will fix, and in the next 3, 4, 5 months we should see new foot bridges. That is for you and us to also monitor, and rather than just be accusatory. Finally, the problem, Navika, is our infrastructure crumbles because we have obtuse and conflicting arguments. To say that why have the bullet train and why not do, it's not the same thing. everything has to work in parallel. Yes, people are right. All the political spokespeople on this panel are absolutely right that the loss of 27 lives is unforgivable. But that tragedy sadly has occurred. Now, do we want to continue to pass accusatory, abuse on each other, or do we want to move forward? The problem is we never move forward in this country. We never fix accountability.
But Suhail
we never have solutions.
We
all know what the problem is. You very rightly talked about 131
You are talking about a bilingual or
population.
multilingual public address system. May I tell you, the public address system that existed on the railway station didn't work. Didn't work, Manisha Kayande. It just didn't work. Otherwise, warnings would have been sent out. There should have been announcements warning people not to get onto that
Why don't you listen to the logic of what I'm saying?
As the local MP, you were quick to blame the BJP. Has the local MP ever bothered to go there and find out whether these systems work?
A business hub.
Manisha
Why
Kayande?
not improve the railway facilities?
The local MP, I know that both the local MPs are very, very active, and they regularly go and visit the railway stations. You want the logbook? Give me some time, I'll provide the logbook. Now you want the day-wise program of the MP?
With? Okay, so his visits ensure that his job is done. Is that what you're saying, Manisha Kayande? That the local MP went, visited the station, and therefore his job is done.
So
whether the public address system works or not is not his problem.
Of course, he visits the station, writing, pursuing. Okay, so what does the MP do? What would you do in his place? What would you do in his place? Tell me.
You talked about the money. You talked about an MP
now,
not having 5.5
are there.
crores.
Are you ready to shift your office to as a means of decongesting the city? As a means of decongesting the city, are you all channels going to shift your offices to Vashi or Mira Road or Bhayandar?
Miss Manisha Kayande, Miss Manisha Kayande, no, I am asking you the question because that's where you started the entire argument from. You said that a member of parliament does not have the funds to build a foot-over bridge that requires 12 crores to be built. All right, the member of parliament does not have 12 crores to build the foot-over bridge, fine. But does the member of parliament have enough money to rectify a non-working public address system, Manisha Kayande? Could he have at least done that, Manisha Kayande?
Absolutely.
Respond to that question, because people of Mumbai are asking you that tonight, Manisha.
I'm asking you a question, you answer to my question.
Oh, no.
As a means of decongestion,
I'm the journalist on the show, and it's my job to ask the politicians the question.
To Vashi or Mira Road or somewhere else? Answer my question. I am asking you. I am asking you as a channel.
From the topic.
Are you
I want
ready
to tell you why
to
this
decongest
happened.
the city? Are you ready to move out your office?
Forward. I think it's time we discuss the way forward, and let me come in here. Navika, can I please make a point?
The city is getting congested.
Navika, I want to make a point
here. The city cannot provide for the infrastructure. Are you ready to move out your office?
So who is getting the city congested? The builders need permissions, Manisha Kayande. The builders need permissions. The permissions are obviously being given. The authorities are obviously looking at the mushrooming offices in the area of Parel.
Navika, I want to shift not
something that your local MPs and MLAs will worry about?
Navika, why so much construction is taking place without providing the basic amenities?
Come in now,
why so much construction is taking place without the environment impact
assessment?
No, why the terminus?
Manisha Kayande wants us to believe that the netas don't know that construction is happening. It's up to corporates to decide how to decongest the city. Great. Corporates will now take a decision suo moto to move out of the city to decongest the city. But netas will keep giving permission to builders to build skyscrapers in the area of Parel and the adjoining areas. Great solution, Tanishta Chatterjee. Is that the greatest solution that you heard from a Neta tonight?
Navika, can I come in?
Yes,
Navika,
I mean,
can I
that's
come in,
no.
please?
So I want to speak as a common citizen. I am just a citizen.
Nobody is
Can I come
thinking
in?
of decongesting
and
the
so
city.
please, no, I want to ask
All the
questions
offices,
from the
everything
people
is in
who are
South
in
Mumbai.
administration as a common citizen.
So you don't want
the
to
thing is
decongest.
that please,
You don't want to
please,
talk about
why
the
are we
main problem.
digressing? Why are we
You don't want
digressing?
to
Let's
talk
stick to
about
the
the
point.
issue. You
Please
just
don't
want to
digress
blame.
from the issue.
Let's
Navika.
stick to the point.
Shiv
Let's
Sena
stick
is
to the
okay
point.
from the issue.
Okay.
Radhika,
Okay,
please.
ladies.
Can I come in?
Ladies, my newsroom
Radhika,
is
can I
ringing
please come
with
in?
callers. Our viewers who are watching this show are calling in. Sanjay from Ludhiana is calling in. Sanjay,
Radhika,
what's
please
your question?
come in.
Yeah, hi Navika, I have a question. I want to ask this lady, Sanju Verma, the way...
Yes? Please switch off your television.
Sanju Verma, I have a question for you. When somebody dies in your family, do you behave like this? Do you clap like this? There is not an iota of remorse on your face. You're actually acting here. It's so painful to see that a ruling party member is behaving like this in the public on the national
I'm
television.
sorry. I will not allow you to make a personal remark. The Chief Minister has tweeted,
This is
the
not
Prime Minister has
personal.
expressed his condolences. Piyush Goyal was in KEM hospital. I simply asked my co-panelists to calm down. Do not take personal pot shots at me. I have clearly at the start apologized and said we are responsive and responsible. We will not shove responsibility away, but the Shiv Sena has to come clean as well. Please do not make personal remarks. I think you conveniently forgot to listen to what I had to say about the steps this government has taken. Please understand, it was in 2012 that Anil Kakodkar committee, when Dinesh Trivedi was the railway minister, said we need 1 lakh crore simply for railway safety. Manmohan Singh did nothing.
Well,
but it is today under Arun Jaitley that 1 lakh crore has been sanctioned for railway safety, and we are trying to get
Sanju Verma,
So
on
please
a day
give credit to the
27
government
lives
where
have
it
been
is
lost.
due.
Maybe
Please give credit to the
you
government where it is
could
due.
just calm
We
down
are
instead of
committed
asking
of
other people
1
to calm
lakh
down. Sanju
crore
Verma, maybe
fund
just
for
you should
railway
calm down
safety
and
alone.
express at
So you
least some
cannot take
grief.
personal pot shots at me.
Clyde
I
Castro
was
wanted to
talking
come
about
in.
the co-panelists.
Sanju Verma
So
thinks
please
by
do not
shouting she
digress
can
from
get
the
away.
issue.
She
This
cannot get
government
away.
has
She cannot get away by
laid down.
You can't ignore this, Sanju Verma. These are tweets that were sent to Suresh Prabhu. These are tweets that were sent to Suresh Prabhu by citizens of Mumbai talking about a stampede-like situation.
Which the Congress could not do in 10 years. So please give
Okay,
BJP
Ashok
government
from
credit where
Mumbai
it
is
due.
calling in. Ashok from Mumbai. Yes, Ashok. What's your question?
Oh, Navika, there's still too much noise in your newsroom. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
need to lower the volume of your television, otherwise we
I
won't
sure
be
will.
able
I
to
sure
hear
will.
you.
Give me
Please
one
lower the
second.
volume of your television.
It's toned down now, yeah. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
we can. Go on, Ashok.
Yeah, Navika, first of all, the most important thing is seeing the tragedy. How I feel today is like if a human heart was like a person, believe me, that person is today crushed under a bus. That's how I feel. And these netas that, they know that the Indian population has infinite, patience, and they exploit that virtue ruthlessly. Believe you me, if it was another country, heads would have rolled, and those who are really accountable would have been taken to task. It doesn't require a rocket scientist to figure out whose fault it was. Believe you me, I feel ashamed that on one hand we talk about the progress, and at the other end we are like in the Stone Age, and until unless,
well, point well made. But in this country, Ashok, what we talk about is compensation, 5 lakh rupees for every person who lost their life, and free ilaj for all those who have been injured in any tragedy. And of course, we talk about an inquiry and a commission that will be set up. Thank you, Ashok, for joining us. Clyde Castro, you hear the complete dismay in the voice of people, Clyde Castro?
The camera बंद करा ना पहले.
You know, Navika, I've been trying to talk to you for a while now, but you know, I don't seem to get a chance. This just seems to be a one-sided debate. I want to tell you one thing very clearly, okay? That the citizens of this country voted for the incumbent government because they thought that this was a better alternative. Now, instead of blaming each other, instead of trying to say who's wrong, I think they should come up with constructive suggestions as to what they can do, what they're going to do. This is what the reason why people have voted for them. Because they thought the earlier government was not good enough, so they thought these people are going to give good enough. But I think it's just going to be a thought because they're not doing anything. They're only accusing each other. So the time has come to they should prove that, okay, the citizens made a right choice, and this is what we are going to do and take this country forward. That's how it should be done, instead of sitting on a national television when 27 people have died and talking all these kind of things that don't make sense at all to anybody. So, I mean, please, everybody should come together and think of the future of this country and the citizens of this country. All of us, including you, me, and everybody.
Navika,
absolutely, and on a day.
Navika,
Sanju Verma.
Yes, Clyde made some very pertinent points, and I agree with him that we need to rise above political differences. But at the same time, I will put the record
straight.
No,
that's I'm rising above. You're not listening, Sanju. Sanju, you're not listening. I'm rising above everything, please.
Did zero. They left us with a disastrous legacy. It's very easy to come and lecture when you're out of power.
Well,
but when
you've had 3 years.
You did nothing.
You've had 3 years to improve that record, Sanju Verma. People are going to ask you that question. And what you displayed tonight, Sanju Verma, in your fights with Mr. Sandeep Deshpande as well as Manisha Kayande, is the fact that netas only like to bicker. What about the 27 families whose future has been destroyed today because of the callousness? And then we talk about the spirit of Mumbai. Well, Mumbai has no alternative because all it has ever got is callousness. Will we actually now demand accountability? Why has not a single person lost his job tonight? Because 27 people died today because there was no public address system. Why has no action been taken? That's the question we ask the authorities. We leave you with the sound of death, the haunting image of how people were trying to get out of that death trap. People who wanted to live and see another day. Thanks to all my panelists for joining, but listen to those sounds of death.